What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing Black Swan's relic combinations and which one does the most damage. So if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more of these analysis. So let's get started. As usual, we have to cover our bases. So for this, we're running an S5 Eyes of the Prey. As you can see, the 48% damage bonus on dot is over there. The 40% effect hit rate is down here. And then the base attack for the light cone is over here. Breaking down our total attack, we have 28% in traces, 43% in the orb, 43% in the rope, 352 flat attack increase on the hands, 14% in subs, and 0 for relic sets and planar sets because that's what we're going to be calculating today. And then we have for effect hit rate sources, 43 on the chest, 27 on subs, 40 from the Eyes of the Prey S5, 10 from traces, and then nothing from planar. And then her traces are 14.4 wind trace, and then it's a total of 120% effect hit rate. As well as that, we have the 25% vulnerability multiplier that Black Swan has on her kit, and we are not including the defense reduction from her skill because this will severely skew the graph when it comes to these relics, so I wanted to keep it as level as possible. But keep in mind that the defense reducing relics like the prisoner and the quantum set will be way better with the defense reduction that Black Swan has on her kit. Just keep that in mind. I calculated individually how much damage each set is going to add to Black Swan as well as the planar sets, and I also calculated all the possible combinations that we can possibly have with these sets that makes sense, obviously. For those of you who are just interested in that, here is the list. So if you're interested in only that, then there you go. That's all you need. But for those of you who want a more in-depth discussion, we are about to do that right now. First up, the 4-piece musketeer with space ceiling station at 120 speed. Obviously, you want to run speed boots on your Black Swan. So this is going to be a given. She has 103 plus the 6%. That's another 6. So you have 109 plus the 25. That's 134 speed with no speed substats at all. So you're already hitting the 134 speed threshold with just the 4-piece musketeer equipped. Same thing with the messenger. The 2-piece messenger set with the musketeer is essentially the same thing. It's just running the 4-piece musketeer if it makes sense. But regardless, it gives us a total of 13.8% damage increase. If we swap from the space ceiling station to the glow moth at 135 speed with just one roll or adding Ron May, our damage jumps up by about 1% for 135, but it jumps up about 4% with the 160 speed, which is very doable if you run Ruan Mei and Asta. You're going to hear me mention Asta when I'm talking about Glamoth because Asta is one of the few characters that's actually going to make it very doable to get 160 speed without hyper investing in speed and sacrificing other stats. The final planar set is a 4-piece musketeer with Pan Cosmic. This is going to give you 25% for the Pan Cosmic planar set and 12% from this for a total of 37%. Also gives you 10% effect hit rate, which translates to about 6% damage bonus. Moving on to the wind set, it's a 4-piece wind. The only caveat with this 4-piece wind is that after you ult, you're going to keep having faster turns after you ult. However, you lose on a lot of damage, and you're going to notice that this is probably the worst performer. But if you're going for a ult build, kind of like you're using Pella, like people use Pella, because I'm going to use her like Pella, but I'm not going to run wind set. But if you are one of those people that use Pella with the wind set, essentially the same principle applies. If you're going for a ultimate spamming Black Swan, wind set is a good option. It gives you these action advance and 10% damage bonus on wind. Oddly enough, it performs better than the musketeer when you equip the space ceiling station and Pan Cosmic, and the reason for this is because this gives you damage bonus and these two give you attack, pretty much overshadowing this attack essentially. But it performs significantly worse when you stack more damage bonus like the Glamoth set does. But regardless, the wind set is going to be one of the worst performers. It's very niche. There is some tech that you can use there, but other than that, it's very niche and very low performing. Moving on, we have the 4-piece prisoner, which is expected to be the best performer for Black Swan, essentially made for her. With the space ceiling station, we start off with 1 dot at 18%, which is already better than all of these, like pretty much all of these. So 1 dot prisoner with space ceiling station 18%, and at 3 dots you get up to 27%, which is almost twice as much as these, I guess. Then you have the Glamoth set pretty much underperforming compared to the space sailing station when you're at 135 speed, which if you're not using Asta, I expect most people to be around. But whenever you get to 160 speed at 3 dots, it starts performing kind of similar to the space sailing station. And then last but not least, we have the prisoner, which gives you effect hit rate, which is a 6% damage bonus if you don't have 120% effect hit rate already. And then it goes at 18, 23, and up to 28 essentially. So this is going to be the top performer right now. So 4-piece prisoner, 2-piece pan cosmic. So far our best performer, but if you're running the 4-piece prisoner with space healing station, not really by much. If you compare, it's only 0.4% difference. Next up, the quantum set actually surprised me, and it's very good on Black Swan. And the reason for that is that she decreases people's defense on her own. A lot of her attacks have defense reducing stats, like defense ignore and defense reduction. She has pretty much 2, and if you ever light cone, it's 3 of them that she has. And then you stack on the set, that's 4 different pieces of damage, of defense reducing effects. And everybody knows that the more you stack of those, the better they get. So with Space Healing Station, we have 16% and 24, with a no quantum weak with 16%, and then quantum weak you jump up to 24%. At 24%, it's among the high performers, I guess. Switching over to Glamoth, starts off at 16, almost 17%, and jumps up to 25, give or take, at 135 speed. But whenever you reach a higher speed threshold at 160, then it starts to get a little out of hand. This 2789 is very, very close over here. So it's very close to the 4-piece prisoner and with Pan Cosmic. So right now, Quantum set's looking kind of good. And last but not least, Quantum with Pan Cosmic caps out at 24% against Quantum weak. So essentially, if you plan on running Black Swan with more than 160 speed, putting on the Glamoth set is very worth it, especially if you run the Quantum set, because as you can see is very close to the current top performer at 27%. All right, moving on to the combination sets, we have a 2-piece attack increase, which is Musketeer and Prisoner, and then a 2-piece Wind. Honestly, very underwhelming underperformer compared to the defense reducing ones. So I wouldn't really dwell in here too much unless you're just like not in end game yet and you don't have a lot of the other newer pieces farmed. I guess the best one you can possibly make is a 2-piece attack, 2-piece Wind, and then a Pan Cosmic, or possibly Space Healing Station. But if you're doing this, then I would just stay away from Glamoth completely. And then last but not least is a double attack relic set. So Prisoner and Musketeer, and this is going to be a little better than just having the 2-piece Wind, 2-piece attack, and it's because dots actually scale off attack. Like damage is just a little bit of it, but it stacks the higher your attack is, the higher the damage essentially. So with the Space Healing Station, you're gonna float around 23.5% and then 24% for the Pan Cosmic. Glamoth on this is the underperformer when you have the 2-piece attack, 2-piece Prisoner. So if I was running these two, I would just go Pan Cosmic. Yeah, it's just you know, I would just choose either Space Healing Station or Pan Cosmic. I would just stay away from Glamoth. Like the only way I would use Glamoth, it would be if I'm running Quantum set, really. Okay, as usual, I have a compiled list of everything I just talked about. There's like, I don't know how many different, like what is it, 35? There's 35 different combinations that I had to calculate, and here in this graph are the top 10. So if we click here, these are the top 10. So let's break that down. So the top performer is going to be 4-piece Prisoner with 3 dots and Pan Cosmic, followed by the 4-piece Quantum plus Glamoth at 160 speed. Let's do the top 3: 4-piece Prisoner, 3 dot, and Space Healing Station. So essentially, 4-piece Prisoner with 3 dots, Space Healing Station, or Pan Cosmic are going to be very, very good. Anything involving a 4-piece Prisoner is going to be really good, because 4-piece Prisoner is essentially made for her. But you may notice that the top 3 are very, very close, are within 0.4% of each other. And number wise, the 4-piece Prisoner 3 dot with Pan Cosmic is definitely better than the other 2. However, I would argue that it would be better for you to get the Space Healing Station one, because the grind to get Pan Cosmic is just so bad. Like, grinding Pan Cosmic set is just one of the worst things in this game. You have to go through Simulated Universe 5, and it's also coupled with the other crap planar set that you don't care about. Pretty much the worst planar set in the game. And then this planar set is just so niche to just Black Swan that it's Black Swan and Kafka that it's just like so niche that I can't in good conscience recommend anybody farm that World 5. It's just so bad. Like, following up with Quantum Weak, the 4-piece Quantum set, Quantum Weak, the only caveat I have with this is that the enemy has to be Quantum Weak, which is very inconsistent. So that's my only gripe with the Quantum Weak. And since you're not going to run her with Silverwolf, because probably you're not going to run her with Silverwolf, you're probably going to stack your team with dots and like supports and stuff. Only being able to run her on teams that you're weak to Quantum is a little bit inconsistent for my liking. And you also need the requirement of 160 speed to be able to compete with the other 2. So that's another threshold that you have to meet. However, the 4-piece prisoner 3 dots with 120 speed is far more consistent because you're going to be able to get the 3 dots, whether by her having her Arcana stacks, her break or her wind break damage, or if you have a secondary dot unit with you that's going to put on the 3rd dot with their break damage. You can have a total of 3 dots by having weakness broken enemy, and then the 2 dots, one from Black Swan, one from the other dot unit. So having the 3 dots is going to be very consistent, and then 120 speed. Everybody's going to run her with the speed boots anyway. So you're going to be at least 128 speed. So Space Healing Station is always going to be up, and then the prisoner dot is almost always going to be up. So out of the top 3, I would say this one is the best because of the consistency and it's just better to farm. I'm just keeping it 100. Like, it's just better to farm Space Healing Station than Pan Cosmic. So that is the comparison that I have for you guys today. That's all the data I have for you in this video. Let me know what you guys think. What set are you guys going to be running on your Black Swan? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, see ya.